Alrighty, today's topic is a continuation of last visit that we had about the transition of the golf club in the downstroke. And if you can look at step 8 on this golf machine canvas, it shows the green color. I hope that shows up on the camera. It is the club head path on the away motion, and the black would be club head path on the down motion. This green would be hand path on the backstroke, and then this black would be hand path on the forward motion. So I like to liken this to a grade A extra large egg on the away motion and a grade A medium sized egg on the forward motion. And the primary reason that happens is because in the change of direction of the club, there's a lagging action, just like in baseball. You really see that baseball lagging action when they take a pitch in the big leagues, and now with the Bowling Green hot rods, I'm sure. I try to stretch on the way away and create as wide an arc as I can with my arms to keep them away from my body. And I'm attempting to try to keep the distance between the end of the club and my sternum constant throughout the whole second and a half of the motion. So I always try to liken that to taking a segment of piano wire. If I could stand it, staple it into my sternum and then into the butt of the grip and be able to hit the same note all the way back and all the way through, would give me a chance to space away from my body so that I could be more consistent with the pattern of my golf club. And so all golfers are trying to get their batting average up higher, and we try to do it in terms of instruction and the use of video to allow these measurements to be more consistent so that you can strike the same way time and time again, no different than a field goal kicker in football trying to make the same motion each time so that they can be redundant with that motion. So on the away motion, I try to stretch, play into my back post with my body and my weight, not beyond it, but to it, stretch my hands away from that point so that I can keep my hands away from my body on the way through. And that gives me a big circle, little circle. Big circle of the width of the club head arc on the way back, smaller circle on the way down, because primarily it's a bullwhipping action where the club is moving in one direction and the body begins moving in another direction. So I get into my forward motion with my body while the club is still nearing the top of my stroke, and it causes it to sort of hang in space for an instant, and it gives me a chance to reroute the club on the way down on a smaller circumference of the circle for the downward motion. And it looks a little like this in slow motion. So anybody that could trap that club in slow motion and see that it occupied something on the way back and less than something on the way down because of the change of direction of the club. Again, that change of direction is big circle on the way back. Then when I get into the pivot of my forward motion to get back to my front post, the club hangs for an instant, and when it starts to fall from there, it falls on a smaller circle than before. So we'll continue this conversation next week when we start talking about how we can maintain a higher horsepower rated action at impact because of the lagging action of the golf club.